Around 08:00 the morning, under clear daylight conditions across Russia's Ural region, Moscow announces a combat readiness exercise at the Nizhny Tagil Missile Division headquarters. What unfolds on the ground looks less like a display and more like a live tactical layout. An estimated 12 T-84 Oplot main battle tanks, each valued at roughly $4 million, are deployed in dispersed positions, prioritizing terrain control over visual concentration. Nearby, 6 BM-21 Grad multiple rocket launchers, worth about $1 million per system, repeatedly displace and re-emplace, rehearsing shoot-and-scoot cycles measured in minutes, along approach routes, autonomous robots, seatbelts of TM-62 anti-vehicle mines, each costing only a few $100s, quietly shaping denial zones without exposing infantry. Mobile electronic warfare vehicles pulse emissions in timed bursts, while more than 20 reconnaissance drones orbit low and steady, mapping access corridors mile by mile. No rounds are fired, yet every element sits one command away from transition. If this is purely defensive, why does every system stand so close to execution readiness? Which part of the world are you watching this from, far away, or just a few borders apart? Drop the city you're in the comments. Across the same morning cycle, RT and other Russian state channels move quickly to frame the activity at Nizhny Tagil as controlled, defensive, and transparent. Broadcast segments repeat three core claims. The exercise is routine, it poses no threat beyond Russia's borders, and it signals stability rather than escalation. Camera angles linger on crews conducting checklist drills, infantry moving in orderly formations, and commanders observing from measured distances, reinforcing the image of discipline over aggression. The T-84 Oplot is presented not as a breakthrough weapon, but as a deterrent platform holding ground inside Russia's own territory. BM-21 Grad launchers are described as training assets, cycling through readiness procedures, with emphasis on crew coordination rather than fire missions. Footage of mine-laying robots and reconnaissance drones is packaged as proof of modernization technology designed to reduce risk to soldiers by replacing manpower in exposed roles. The visual narrative is calm, vehicles idle, troops rehearse movements, and no weapons discharge. Yet, when viewed through the lens often applied by Reuters and the Financial Times, the messaging leaves gaps. The exercise window stretches longer than standard readiness drills, and electronic warfare emissions remain active well beyond demonstration thresholds. Drone flight paths repeat with survey-like precision, mapping approach corridors rather than merely testing pilots. These details suggest a layer beneath the broadcast tone. What RT calls reassurance, analysts read as strategic ambiguity, using a defensive exercise to normalize sustained force posture while masking preparatory steps for future contingencies. The message outward is de-escalation. The signal inward is readiness. To outside observers, the scene at Nizhny Tagil looks calm. To analysts trained in the style of Reuters and the Financial Times, it feels deliberately unsettling. The first red flag is what isn't emphasized. There are no fast armored thrusts, no dramatic breakthrough maneuvers. Instead, the exercise revolves around mines, rocket artillery, and electronic warfare, the tools of attrition, not movement. That choice alone suggests a battlefield assumption where time, not territory, is the primary weapon. Experts point to the geometry of denial. Mine-laying robots quietly seal off approach zones hundreds of yards wide, while BM-21 Grad units rehearse repeated displacement cycles measured in minutes, not hours. This is not about a single strike. It is about exhausting anything that comes close. Overhead, drones hold steady orbits, stitching together a continuous picture of access corridors stretching for miles.